Hey guys, welcome back to the Manhattan Project.
Hello there.
I'm Jesse,
I'm Todd.
and we're going to taste some bourbon.
You know it.
And rye.
Oh, and rye.
Whiskey.
Way to make it awkward.
All right, guys, welcome back. We've got a couple of higher proof, heavier hitters today. We're going to be doing the Larceny barrel proof.
And we're doing the Michters.
You want to read it?
Yeah, I do want to read it because he got into my head while we were talking about this. This is the Michter's barrel strength, toasted barrel finish, Kentucky straight rye whiskey, 110 proof.
Rye whiskey.
Yeah, he was confusing the words to mess me up, and he did a good job.
Yep. That's a win.
So these are going to be by far our highest proof whiskeys that we've had so far, correct?
Yeah. I'll go with that. That sounds right.
Right. So this episode I've actually been looking forward to because going back to the vermouth talk of episode 2.
Yeah.
We had some question as to whether or not the Martini Rossi vermouth was going to hold up against this higher proof thing. So tonight's the test.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I think to that point also, we really enjoyed these higher proof whiskeys with that other vermouth. So I'm looking forward to it also. I didn't even think about that.
Right.
That's a good idea. Should we do it?
No, I just want to stay and talk for a while. Let's do it. Let's do it. Come on.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
Well, I was fine just sitting there talking to you.
Were you?
I was.
Sorry to spoil your moment.
You always spoil my moment. Whatever that means. It seemed like the right thing to say at the time, and then after I said it,
It was just awkward.
it didn't seem like the right thing to say. All right. And the standard ratio, 2 ounces whiskey, 1 ounce vermouth,
Correct. Some bitters going.
17 dashes of bitters.
Or you almost said last episode 4 ounces of bitters.
Or 4 dashes. And the ice.
What the?
I think the more I do this, the clumsier I get.
Same. It's supposed to get better. It doesn't. All right, got timer ready?
We start.
Go. What was that?
Piece of ice.
Good thing we have a cleaning crew with this high budget operation we going on here.
Yeah, you're looking at them.
There's
We wear many hats.
there's
God bless it. All right.
that'll about do it.
You think that's good?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Save a spoon for the cherries.
Yep.
So you're not fishing them out like I did last episode.
I've heard it's classy to use your hands.
Well, in the age of COVID, everyone likes you putting their hands in things.
Everyone likes you putting their hands.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
All right. So let's get some cherries.
Unequal pour here.
Way to go.
You gonna hook me up with some cherries?
I sure will.
Thank you.
All right. You tell me, which one do you want to do?
Start with the Larceny.
Larceny.
Only because I've had the Larceny before. I have not had the Michters.
Okay. Hold on. Housekeeping.
I'm waiting right here.
All right. Larceny. Let's do it.
Oh, it smells so good.
It does smell good. Cheers.
Cheers.
Slancha.
Cilantro.
That's good.
That's heaven.
That's really good. What a difference.
Yeah.
What a difference. 120 proof versus even the 100 proofers that we did in the previous episode. It's just night and day.
Well, I'll say right off the bat too, the vermouth Martini Rossi, that's holding up. It's like
It is.
it's the whiskey's not overpowering it at all.
It's not overpowering, and I think it's pretty balanced. I mean, it's definitely more whiskey forward. You get more of the alcohol, you get a little bit of the bite and the burn.
Yeah.
But it's super smooth. A little inside joke for some of the people watching this.
Well,
smooth.
I know where you're going with that, but at the same time, it's like once you put vermouth in something, that's going to smooth it out anyways. There's a whole debate on calling things smooth because it's not really a measure of quality. It's a measure of taste.
Yeah.
So I get why you're saying that.
More educated palates use the term smooth.
Really?
No, not at all.
I didn't think so. All right, save some of this. I'll tell you why later.
I'll save some, but I'm also going to drink a little bit more. Yeah, that's pretty fantastic.
I'm going to immediately go to an 8.5 on that.
All right. Boy, threw me off. 8.5 is good. I like it.
Okay, that's fantastic.
Yeah, I'm enjoying that quite a bit. Okay. So now which one are we doing? Do you want to read it again?
No, you do it.
Michter's?
Yes.
Okay. Toasted barrel finish?
Yes.
Rye?
Sure.
Barrel strength?
Mm-hmm.
Done.
Cheers. All right. Nose on this is not. I'm not getting as much as the Larceny.
No, and I think you're going to get more of the sweetness that's going to come through in the aroma with the Larceny as opposed to
The spice from the rye.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the flavor profile should be definitely different.
Okay.
So let's see. Mm-hmm.
Definitely spicy.
Yeah, there's spice, and I just thought about this. Anytime I've had a rye in a Manhattan, it's almost. Are you familiar? Like if I use the term dry, it's dry.
Right.
It almost tastes dry compared to the Larceny or like a bourbon as opposed to a rye, where that guy's definitely sweet. And it's almost like if you drink a dry red wine, it almost kind of, the tannins almost kind of dry your mouth out.
Right.
I feel like I get something equivalent to that with the rye versus the Larceny.
I agree with that.
Yeah. It's got a great flavor though. What do you think compared to the Larceny?
I'm not going to score it as high as the Larceny for that reason. It does dry it out.
I still think it's really good.
It is really good.
I think it's so.
I mean, understand that an 8.5 is as high as we've gone so far.
It is as high as we've gone. I for sure. I still think that it's an 8, and I don't know. Maybe it's that higher proof that just for me, for my palate, I enjoy. It's more whiskey forward. It's not as the whiskey shines in both of these cocktails versus some of the other cocktails with the lower proof whiskeys. They make a very well balanced drink, but the whiskey doesn't really shine as much.
Sure.
It's more balanced.
Right.
This, again, for my palate, I think it's balanced, but you get way more of the whiskey that just kind of overshadows a lot of the nuances of, the vermouth that you get more of in a lower proof
Well,
whiskey.
I mean, for people at home watching this, I would recommend going out and buying both of these bottles if you can do it, because these give you two very different flavor profiles in two bottles that are a very similar proof. Whereas a lot of the other things, they don't necessarily stand apart too much, where these do, but they're both really, really good.
Yeah, and I think it is neat doing it's interesting doing a rye and a bourbon. So you do have the sweet and then the spice to compare, and both in an elevated proof. They're not the easiest things to find, especially the barrel proof Larceny, but they are findable for sure. And I would highly recommend you guys check those out. All right, so do I need to save some of this too?
No, just the Larceny.
Just the Larceny?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, here. Cheers.
Okay.
And I'm going to eat my cherry.
So, I'm assuming We have some James Bond fans out there in our massive viewing audience.
Oh boy, where are we going here?
So we're going to break a couple rules here, at least one big one.
Okay.
As you well know, what is the most famous line from the James Bond movies?
Oh, are we talking about as it relates to cocktails? Shaken, not stirred?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So I've always wondered what a Manhattan would taste like, shaken, not stirred.
Oh.
Thus,
I see what you're doing here.
we're doing this.
All right, what are we making it with?
We're going to make it with the Larceny.
Okay. Am I doing this?
Yeah.
I need this to be able to do this.
All right. I got the bitters.
All right. So if are we going to make 2 full cocktails with this?
No, we're going to just do one, and we have something to compare it to because you've saved some.
I gotcha. Now I understand.
Method to my madness. Mm-hmm. All right. Bitters are in.
All right.
Got you discombobulated now.
You do. I wasn't prepared for this.
Well, got to keep you guessing.
All right.
So what are your thoughts on this? What do you think the outcome's going to be? Do you think it's going to be more or less diluted? You think it's going to affect the flavor profile? Should we shake it for 30 seconds, or should we?
So, usually cocktails like this aren't shaken. Usually cocktails like this are stirred. You're not trying to add air. You're not trying to aerate it. Well, don't do it that way because you're going to add some water from the cup. Okay. So I'll just do this.
Well, there was none in there, but
all right, just in case.
Stop second guessing me.
So, you're going to aerate the cocktail by doing it this way, and I don't know that you're necessarily going to dilute it anymore. I mean, if you shake it longer, it can dilute more.
Keep talking.
Oh, actually talk.
That's actually like how I'd rather listen to you talk.
Yeah. I am interested to see how this does. And since we don't have a secondary strainer to strain out the ice pieces, we're going to use this.
Oh, it's already in there.
No, I know, but should have a second one.
Why is that?
Because when you shake, you can get ice chips that develop in the cocktail, and then when you strain it, the holes in that are a lot of times too wide to catch anything.
Make sure I got all that out of there.
Yeah. Good?
Okay. Yep.
All right.
That sounds bad. Oh, I see. You're right. There are ice chips in there.
Uh-huh. So usually you'd have a second strainer. You double strain this. Go back to this side. You would double strain this with a mesh strainer. Okay. So you would strain it out of this with the built-in strainer in the lid, and then see all those little ice chips that it caught.
You guys didn't think he knew what he was talking about? Apparently he does.
Every now and then I got a little hidden gem.
Okay.
All right, housekeeping.
So let's do this.
So, I mean, if I was going to shake this,
there's not a ton.
I'd have been shaking it like crazy. Because that's the idea when you shake a cocktail, right, is to aerate it, add some foam, add some body.
Granted, there's not a ton in the old one, but there's a color difference, significant.
There is. So you know what that tells me?
It diluted more.
It diluted more, right. Which makes sense. As you're shaking it, you're going to have little pieces of ice that are going to be breaking off from the bigger pieces of ice, and those are going to dilute.
They're going to melt quicker.
Right. Yep. Okay. Well, let's give it a go.
Should we go with the old first or new?
We've already done the old, so let's do the new.
Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers. It's very cold.
It is very cold, and it is very diluted.
Yeah, it is much more diluted.
I am not a fan of that at all. Okay. It's diluted it way too much.
Right. But these higher proof ones may be the only ones you could get away with it. Not that you want to get away with it. But
I don't know that you want to try to even get away with it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Right? But if you like had no choice, if you were on a desert island and you had nothing but...
And you had to use a shaker? What do you mean? If you're on a desert island, there's a shaker next to you.
But no spoon.
And spirits. What kind of desert island are we on?
That's feasible.
That's the best desert island ever.
It happens all the time.
Gotta shake them. You can drink this delicious spirit beverage, but you have to shake it.
Right.
And apparently you have ice.
It's like a
desert island.
Devil went down to Georgia scenario.
Yeah. I mean, I don't hate it, but it's not very good, and it's quite amazing how different it is.
What does that mean as far as James Bond? Does that make him like a little less manly because he wants it more diluted?
But he's also drinking a martini, so I don't know.
But the theory's the same. It's just physics at that point.
So you can kind of compensate. You can shake it for a lesser amount of time.
Right.
In our case, we're building a cocktail that has multiple ingredients. I mean, you can add more of the whiskey and less.
Yeah, this could be an episode in itself. I mean, like, how long do you shake a Manhattan to make it taste like a stirred classic Manhattan?
I don't know. I don't know that you even do. Because it adds air, it aerates everything too. Right. So, the body of everything's going to be different. The mouthfeel is going to be different. Everything's going to be different about a shaken cocktail versus a stirred cocktail.
Right.
And I think doing this was a good exercise in why these cocktails are built a certain way, right?
Oh, I agree.
And I think that this just reinforces it.
Oh, yeah, you could see it just from the color that it's more diluted. So if for some reason, like, you wanted a more diluted Manhattan, you want to do it this way, do it. But beyond
I would still just stir it longer.
Or let it sit.
Yeah. Or let it set.
Sit in the ice.
Or, don't serve it up.
Right.
Don't serve it without ice. Serve it over
Why
ice.
waste the calories shaking something when you don't have to?
Exactly. All right, well, that was fantastic.
Experiment done.
So, in one of the next episodes coming up very soon, we are going to branch out. We are going to experiment with something other than a Manhattan, and we're probably going to revisit something we've already done.
Okay.
I don't want to take something new and branch off onto a new
Off
cocktail.
camera, you better let me know, because otherwise I'm going to drink it.
Well, that's fine. I can pick something that we still have.
Okay.
But I'm going to put something out in the Facebook group for you guys to vote on. There's going to be a couple of options for some different cocktails, and whichever one gets the most votes is going to be the cocktail that we make. And like I said, I don't want to say too much here. You guys will have to get into the Facebook group if you haven't. It's down in the description. Hop over there. In the next few days, I'll have that up, and you guys can vote on which cocktail you want to see us make. And it will not be a Manhattan.
Okay.
Sound good?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So Facebook, if you guys haven't head over there already, go ahead and head over there, join the group, contribute, get in there, let's talk about whiskey. Right. If you guys are out and about, you have a good cocktail, take a picture, post it up there. Let's build a community.
Exactly.
And like and subscribe, hit the bell, and we'll see you next time.
Cheers.
Cheers.